Mission Station on Space to Ground.
Welcome to Space to Ground, your weekly look at what's happening on board the International Space Station. I'm Dan Hewitt. A lot of activity took place this week in the Japanese experiment module, also known as Kibo. The largest single habitable element on the ISS, Kibo houses a special airlock used to transfer experiments to the outside of the station. The crew worked to install an attachment to the module's robotic arm called the Small Fine Arm. The new hardware is about 6 feet in length and can handle delicate operations on Kibo's exposed facility. World Cup excitement came to a head on the station this week with the highly anticipated matchup between the U.S. and Germany. U.S. astronaut Steve Swanson and Reid Wiseman and German astronaut Alexander Gerst even placed a little side bet to make things a little more interesting.
If the U.S. win, these guys are allowed to draw a little U.S. flag on my head. But then again, if Germany wins, I think these guys need to shave their heads so we all look alike.
Make sure to check in and see if Steve and Reid took a trip to the ISS barbershop. Have you ever had trouble sleeping when the sun is up? Well, imagine how you might feel if the sun rose 16 times a day. A study called Circadian Rhythms is looking to track how astronauts' sleep cycles change while they're in space, and this week, Reid Wiseman was the test subject.
Right now I have a sensor on my forehead, which is not the most glamorous experiment, but they're measuring my body temperature over a 2.5 day period. Just to see what space does to your sleep cycles.
Once we better understand how the body's biological clock varies in orbit, we can fine-tune the astronauts' work and sleep schedules, leading to improved overall health and performance. This week's Twitter question comes from Daniel. He asks, what is the max squat weight lifted by an astronaut on ARED in space? Well, for those that don't know, ARED stands for the Advanced Resistive Exercise Device, and it provides up to 600 pounds of resistance for astronauts to simulate weightlifting and microgravity. We followed up with one of the astronaut strength conditioning and rehabilitation specialists, and he told us a few crew members have gotten up to just over 400 pounds. Make sure to keep sending your questions and comments using the hashtag #SpaceToGround. We'll see you next week.